Digits BB. Welcome back, everyone, to Digits BB. Tonight, we are hoping, against all odds, that we can finish another Lost Phone Laura story. As people who tuned in on Thursday evening will remember, things did not go super well last time I tried to stream this game. My computer was just not working with me that night. I only got to play for about 20 minutes before everything went south. The game crashed, couldn't get anything working, everything was just a mess. I was so upset. Now tonight I'm super paranoid, I expect things to go wrong. I'm going to this game super nervous, get sweaty, stay sweaty, but I probably should be nervous given the events that have been unfolding in the story lately. So, where we left off, I didn't really get to accomplish too much beyond the first stream of the game, but we were reading through these messages in the Power Job app, which is like a professional like work-related messaging service, the equivalent of LinkedIn. And did I get through every single one of these? I'm pretty sure I did, right? Yeah, I think I got through at least all of these. And essentially what happened is that we found out the reason why our character Laura here stopped going into work and had to work from home was because of an agreement she reached with her boss, on decent enough terms with her boss at least, that somebody essentially sent a revealing video of Laura, essentially revenge porn, to everyone in her entire office and also other companies that she had a professional relationship with. And that pretty much caused her professional career to go south, and we're not really sure who did it. There was initially suspicions. I thought it could have been her ex-boyfriend, but also we had, it was Claire, right? Let me check these messages just to be sure I have my names right. Yeah, so it was Claire who was apparently reaching out to Laura posing as someone named Amanda, but Claire was basically reaching out to Laura to say that her current boyfriend Ben is actually like a super dangerous, sketchy abuser, and that although Ben told us that Claire was someone he didn't want to see in person because she was kind of creeping on him, Claire is being like, no, he just doesn't want you to know about how he really is and how terrible he was to his ex-partner. And it's just this really messy situation. We really don't know who to believe at this point. But yeah, Claire has been saying that Ben could have been the one to spread this video to all of Laura's colleagues. But we're not really sure, and that's kind of where we left off. And now I need to get an idea of what to do next. I'm actually a little bit lost on that. We got kind of scrambled by what happened last time, but I guess as far as things to go do with this phone, we need to be able to figure out how to turn the GPS signal back on, right? Which is something we can only do by entering some sort of password or something, right? I can't remember. Yeah, we need to do this little passcode with the shape. It would also be nice to be able to get this application open. By the way, what's our battery looking like? Oh, well, apparently our battery's 100%, even though we've been using this phone for like 2 hours as far as the game's clock is concerned. Right, and so we have a hint here. Birth year of first boyfriend, plus office number. Oh, I was thinking for some reason when I first saw this hint, it would be like a series of digits of like 4 different things, but it's not. It's a bunch of numbers added together. Birth year of first boyfriend. Office number of penultimate boss. Street number, place I met Amanda for the first time. Oh, wait a minute. Amanda is Claire, right? Okay, we can probably find some of that information through this app. The penultimate boss was, oh, penultimate boss, right? It's a penultimate boss, the one before her current boss. Oh, I'm not sure if I know who that is. I may need some hints and stuff, to be honest, just because we've been away from this game for too long. I'm also not sure what to think about this counter app. It's probably some sort of secret code to lure us to something. Honestly, I think to get us on the right track, I'm going to go ahead and look up a Steam walkthrough to give me an idea of what I'm supposed to be looking for right now. Because, unfortunately, I just couldn't finish this game in one sitting, and because of that, some details are kind of lost on me. So we're kind of at a point where we've read through all the messages in Power Job. Oh, the next thing we're supposed to have been able to do is... Oh, right, we were interested in looking at a different email account, weren't we? That's right, because there was a... There was that second email account. Let me put my thoughts together here. All of the video that was sent out to all of Laura's coworkers was sent through an email account that was pretending to be her. It was like her full name with like some numbers added to it or something. And it wasn't an account that Laura actually created, it was just somebody catfishing. But Claire, the person who was trying to warn Laura about Ben, said that if you enter Ben's year of birth as the password, it would let her into the account, and apparently it did. And because of that, we're not really sure if the reason why why Claire knows that is because the account actually was created by Ben, or if it's Claire who made the account and she's just saying that to try to make Laura more suspicious of Ben, which is what Laura believed in their email correspondence. But yeah, I guess we should be figuring out how to use this account. So if we click on the... Oh, okay, I didn't realize... Okay, if we just click on the picture, then we can switch, and then... We need to know Ben's birth year, right? Let me just make sure. Is Claire going to mention that? Entering his year of birth. Alright, so I don't think they say that in their emails. And why would they, right? Of course they're going to make us look for more clues. Would we have found that information in texts with Ben, or maybe on his profile here? Okay, he's 30 years old. Well, there you go, that's how you figured out. So 2017 minus 30 would be 1987. Oh boy, we've made it in. Alright, now we're digging deep, right? We're gonna find out some deets here. Alright, so it seems these are probably our replies, given that topic line, is that video is leaked with the email subject, "I'm thinking of you." Who is Jean L, or Jean L? I thought of you and have something for you. Click here to find out what it is. Hey Laura, I'm incredibly embarrassed. I really like you, but I already have a girlfriend, and I owe it to her to be faithful. Should we click on this? I think I'll go ahead and just read everybody's replies first, but are we able to click on that? Not that I want to, like, see, like, I'm wondering if we're supposed to be able to even be able to click on this and reveal something. Alright, Nadia says, "Hi Laura, I think your personal email account has been hacked. Come and see me if you need some help to make your IT more secure." Alright, so Nadia gave a professional response instead of being all raunchy like a bunch of the dudes. Michael says, "What's the meaning of this, Laura? We need to discuss this urgently." Remember, is Michael the boss? I don't remember, to be honest. Michael may be the boss who understood the situation and, you know, didn't fire her, just let her work from home for the time being. I think you sent this to the wrong person. Oh god, and Paul is one of the raunchy coworkers. Haha, you little minx, I suspected you were hiding your true self at the office, winky face. I understand if you don't want everyone to know you want to sleep with me. People would just gossip, and that would piss me off too. If you want us to meet after work, wear your red dress tomorrow. You know, the one that fits tightly, or I don't even want to read all that out loud. I would get the message. See you tomorrow. Oops, phone fell. Alright, so we see all these replies, but can we look at any other sort of information here? Oh, so we sent the email to a lot more people, just not everybody replied. Oh, which essentially just means that we're seeing the same thing all over. But do we even know who all these people are? I'm seeing names like Diego, Maxime, Bernard. Can we assume that these are all people who actually work with Laura, or could some of these just be other people that who have some sort of non-professional connection to Laura that this person is trying to embarrass her with? I'm not sure. The message was also sent to Ben, interestingly enough. In fact, it looks like he was the first person it was sent to. Well, not necessarily, it's probably sent it... Well... No, these are all sent like a minute apart from each other, which is strange. Why would it be sent individually to everyone instead of like as just one massive CC? So can this be clicked on? The file's been erased. Okay, I was just wondering if that link was still something we're supposed to be able to click on. Alright, well, we have access to this other email address. Are we supposed to be able to do something with this? Seems like the only thing we can do here is read replies and look at the people we sent it to. What did we get out of the messages with Claire? What did she say about the situation with this email account? He replies, I hadn't seen you. Well, there we go. He sent the video. Mustn't trust him. And Laura's like, you must be the person behind the account. Oh, so this was all sent in April. What? Do we have any sort of messages with Ben from around that time? Like April 4th? Stuff in March. Work life isn't going well. Oh, but is the concert? Wait, has the concert still been going on? As far as we knew, in February, the whole concert event was canceled, or Laura was removed from the planning procedures because of the scandal at work. About 2 weeks later, there was a birthday surprise, so it seems like maybe Laura didn't come forward to Ben about this stuff. So, where are we supposed to go from here? Hello to Flunkiest Monkey, welcome. We are playing another Lost Phone, Laura's Story. Well, how are we supposed to proceed from here? Alright, so Steam Walkthrough suggests that we need to get to security chest next. What is the, let me see what security chest. So we needed, birth year of the first boyfriend. The first boyfriend was, Alex, right? Do we have his birth year listed anywhere? Like, do we have any professional connections with him on here? Yeah, Alex was the first boyfriend. He's 26, which means he was born in 1991. And then office number of my penultimate boss. Well, let me go ahead and put the number 1991 in my phone, and then penultimate boss. This is the current boss, right? No, he's not. He was just somebody we were working with to plan the concert. The boss was... Who was the boss again? Was it Michael? Seems that Michael was like a recruiter or something. Oh, so Amanda was you can see this was like a catfish identity. Amanda wasn't a real person and it was Claire, right? Offering work opportunities. Juicy things to tell. Oh, and this was Claire, right? Trying to get closer to Laura to be able to spill some details on Ben that we haven't really been able to confirm yet. Lurking while playing Path of Exile. Well, you're welcome to do so. We're just trying to figure things out here. Don't I have a photo with an office number on it? That could be what we're looking for here. Like 22. Well, is that an office? I don't know if that's an office. We also have the number 20 and 22, so how about I consult the Steam guide to where to look for this information. I guess right here I can go ahead and double check that I'm right on the... So Steam said that she sent an email to her first boyfriend. That's how you're supposed to be able to tell who the first boyfriend was. Which was him, and we know he's... Okay, so that all adds up. We definitely have the first number correct. Okay, well, the clue on Steam is that Laura mentioned this number in a professional context, which means that... Oh, wait a minute. It's not this, but how about maybe if we look at some of the older messages? The guide says that Laura probably mentioned the office number of her previous boss, so we can look through things that Laura has said in her messages. Oh, this is the creepy dude. Jeez. That's... We really could get this guy fired for the things that he's said on a professional networking site. Oh, there it is. There's the number right there. Because WOA Events is where she worked previously. Office number 107. So 1991 plus 107. And then the last number we need is street number of the place you met Amanda for the first time. That's probably not that difficult to find, right? It's either in correspondence with Amanda or with her known as Claire. It's in Poplar Street in the corner of Market Way. There's a large mural, the door beneath the octopus. Alright, door beneath the octopus would be in our photos. There are multiple doors with numbers, but it's the one underneath an octopus image. Which would be... Could it be 22? I guess we can just assume for now it's 22, which means that the number to enter for this passcode is 2120. So we'll try that. That was incorrect, then what was the other number that exists in the photos? That exists in the photos, what am I saying? It could be 20 as well. $1991 plus... Oh gosh, what was the second number? $107. $2118, that's an alternative. That was incorrect as well? Really? Then what am I missing here? Let's see here. Steam Guy confirms that I must have the third number wrong then, because I feel like I'm pretty certain about the first two, but I could double check here. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm thinking about something here. So his birthday, it seems like his birthday is on like December 31st, maybe? So... 6 and then... Wait, so if he was 26 and this time then... Oh, you know what? He could have been born in 1990. That could be the issue here. That could be the thing. I was thinking he was born in 1991 based on being 26 because I was subtracting 26 from 2017. But because his birthday is so late in the calendar year, it could mean he like just turned 26 at the end of 2016. And that was throwing my math off. So let's try 2119 as our number here. And then if that's wrong, 2117, because the office could have been number 20. That's still wrong? Really? Okay, well, Steam confirms that he was born in 1990, so I have that number correct. At least I was right in reasoning my way through that one. Do I still have... Okay, number 107 is correct for that one. Oh, wait a minute. Let me back out of here. So, check these photos again. Oh, wait a minute. So there's a door into the Octopus 22, and then... Could the number here be 24, and the number is obscured by paint? Is it, like, kind of playing a trick on us here? Because the door number is hidden by this roof right here. Could the number be 24? Yeah, okay. That's exactly what I'm being told by the walkthrough, so... They're being a little bit tricky with these numbers here. The game is definitely trying to throw you off by having you get like 1 or 2 digits off for these numbers. Alright, so our final combination here is 1990 plus 107 plus 24, which is 2121. And that got us in. There we go. Alright. Okay, so... Your chest will stay unlocked. Oh, okay, so we might have to come back into the app with the passcode again. So we have... Oh, so this app has a secret messaging service in it. And some of the messages were sent very recently. Let's start from the oldest messages, though. Here we have messages with Elsa. These are longer message histories, too. Oh, this is dating back before a relationship with Ben and everything. Hi, Laura. Hello, Elsa. Are you still in Edgerton? Always and forever. I'm looking for a job. Ha ha ha. Well, you and me both, then. Can I drop by your place tonight? That was a jump there in dates, but... Can I drop by your place tonight? Sure, it'll be great to catch up. I warn you, it's very small and very untidy. Who cares? Don't worry, I live in a tiny box too, but it's fairly cheap for Edgerton. True. Do you still live in the same apartment? Yeah, the same matchbox. I'll call you when I'm at the door. Alright, jumping ahead a couple weeks. Hi, I found a cool little cafe. Java Genie. They have these terrific muffins. Do they serve tea too? Of course, they have their own blends and everything. Oh, now we're talking. I feel like the name of that cafe is going to be important later. Alright, jumping ahead a bit. I'm going jogging with Emma a few nights this week. Would you like to come with us? I'm not a great fan of jogging. I think I'd just slow you down. Well, we do run pretty fast. But if you'd rather go for a bike ride in Lions Park sometime, I'd love to. On the weekend, maybe? I'll ask Emma if she'd like to come. A couple weeks later, I'm going to the Edelweiss Mall, you know, the one in the suburbs. Do you want to come? But why are you going way out there? There's a mall downtown, isn't there? Yeah, but the Edelweiss is often cheaper, and it's bigger. In that case, why not? Cool. Meet at my place? I'll be there in 15 minutes. Jumping ahead. I'll make the bike reservations tonight. Okay, thanks for seeing to that. I wouldn't even know where to do that or who to ask. Haha, I go cycling every 2 weeks, so I'm used to it by now. Jumping ahead. Hi. I can't be bothered to cook tonight. Should we eat at a restaurant instead? I don't have much money at the moment. I'll pay for you then. Ben and I were going to eat at home tonight. Oh, okay, another time then. Alright, jumping ahead to 2017. Hi, I asked Emma and she'd love to go on another bike ride. We thought we'd get out of town and cycle in a more peaceful environment. Tamford Forest has some fabulous bike paths. Shall we go this weekend? No can do this weekend. Ben and I want to spend some time together. We can go some other time. Well, we actually have a lot of couple stuff planned on weekends this month. Okay, that's a shame. You know, I'm not entirely sure what to make of that, to be honest. Because, I mean, you know, like, obviously people in a relationship, they can actually be busy and have a lot of stuff going on, but I guess on the more positive way of looking at things, you could say, oh, like, Ben and Laura's relationship, you know, they're just busy together, they have a lot going on, and so Laura doesn't have as much time to spend with friends, and so maybe their relationship is totally fine, nothing's going on. On the more negative way of assessing things, we have this information that Ben might be an abuser. We also know that he and Laura's relationship moved very, very fast. Like, kind of strangely fast. Like, they literally started dating in November and moved in together like a month later or something like that. Having, like, just met, basically. And now they're, like, maybe 2-3 months into the relationship, and it seems that Laura's getting busier every weekend, not even be able to spend time with her longtime friends, and it makes it seem like there's a possibility that Ben could be isolating Laura from her friends, which we also have that information that Ben might have been leaking that videotape to everyone. And if it was Ben who did that, it could have been to try to get Laura to lose her job so she'd be more financially dependent on Ben. And even though she didn't lose her job, she's stuck working at home and being around Ben all the time, and again being socially isolated from everyone. So I'm kind of getting suspicious here. And again, we need a lot more to be able to verify this, but I'm starting to get more suspicious of Ben already based on what we're seeing here. So let's go to the next kind of older messages from Amelia, the curly-haired friend who is married. Did Kitty tell you about the space bar? This is back in August, so this is a while back. The bar you went to when you were students? That's the one. Do you want to go there tonight? Sure. Call me when you're free, I have nothing planned. Hi, are we still meeting at the mall? Yeah, but I'm running late, sorry. Okay, call me when you arrive. Shall we have a little space bar session? My bank account won't like it. Whatever, I'm buying. You can pay me back in homemade smoothies. Haha, alright then. Ahead to September. Victor and I finally found the perfect lounge table. How cool is that? It's a table that folds out and back in again, so it's both a small table and quite a big one, and a quite big one when we have more people around. It even has extensions that you can pull out. Have you fallen in love with this table? Yeah, we're getting married in 2 weeks. So you're leaving Victor? Haha. Jumping ahead again, spacebar, spacebar. Yeah, you do notice that Laura was the type to spend a lot of time with her friends. Mostly female friends. Back before she was in this relationship, and I think we're going to be seeing a repeating trend that she's kind of distanced herself from like everyone since getting very serious with Ben very fast. Alright, September 28th. I'm doing brunch with friends this Saturday. Do you want to come? I sure do. What should I bring? We got the basics covered, but if you want to bring something special, then go ahead. Figs on toast? Ooh, lovely. See you Saturday then. Jumping ahead again, space bar time. They were at the space bar like every weekend. Oh no, not that goddamn jingle you can't get out of your head. Do from the other side of the galaxy. Do space bar. Jumping a few more weeks ahead. Want to go out for a meal tonight? I found a new restaurant that isn't too expensive. I can't. I have approximately 3,424,535,243 dissertations to grade. Ouch, good luck. A couple weeks later. I have a discount voucher for trainers from Sports & Co. Would you like it? Ah, yeah, I have to buy some new trainers to go jogging in. I'm passing by your place this afternoon. I'll drop it in your mailbox. Ooh, thanks. Do you want to come around and have a drink? No, I can't. I have so much to do this afternoon. Okay, then. Jumping in. So now we're in November, which is around the time that Laura and Ben started dating. Hi, Laura. We're going to Space Bar this afternoon. Do you want to come? I sure do. I love those strawberry guava lemon basil cocktails. Plus, I have some big news for you. Eyes emoji. Should we meet at my place beforehand? Okay, see you later. A couple weeks later. You must give me that recipe for that zucchini you made for us the other day. Hey, haha, hey lady, that's a trade secret. Ooh, well, I won't tell anyone, I promise. I'll give it to you tomorrow when I see you at Daniel's place. Jumping ahead again. I'm going shopping at the DIY store. Do you need anything to fix stuff in your apartment before you hand it over? Oh yeah, thanks. Should I come and pick you up? That'd be great. Be in 30 minutes. A couple weeks later. Alright, so here's where we notice the transition. A month into that relationship, I think it was around the time they moved in together, we notice that Laura suddenly does not have time to hang out with anybody else. When she previously seemed to be a very social person or have a very active social life with multiple people. Hello, Daniel and I are having our joint birthday party this Saturday. Can you bring your famous zucchini dish? It never tastes as good when I do it. I'm not free on Saturday, sorry. Oh no, that's too bad. I tried a new bar. If you want to join us. And they never contacted each other again from the end of January. Which is also like only a couple weeks later when the incident happened at work. Alright, messages with Emma. Coffee and beans, coffee at the Beans and Spice. Aw yeah. It's been so long since I've had an egg tea. You can order to go now. Exclamation points. Okay, let's go. Ha ha ha. September 2nd. Are you running tonight? Yeah, at Orchid Park. Do you want to come? Yeah, should I drop by your place before we go? No, you stay home. It's on the way there. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and scroll through this. I think we can speed along a bit more here. The idea we get here is that Laura had a very active social life. Prior to spending more time with Ben. Well, it seems like they kind of had a continued friendship here, Laura and Emma. So they went to a concert together in December, January 3rd. Okay, January 8th. Do you want to go on a double date to the movies restaurant next week? I don't know if Ben will want to go. He's been a little on edge recently. But when you told me about him at the tea shop last time, it sounded like you were both madly in love, which again, this is like 2 months after they met. Well, I mean, being that infatuated that early in a relationship isn't really that out of the ordinary, I guess, but the hint of him possibly being kind of moody is a bit suspicious given what else we already know. Yeah, we still are, but he can be a bit exhausting at times. Like just the other day, he made this big scene because I sent Alex a gift for his birthday. Interesting. Alex, your ex-boyfriend? Yeah. Well, it is kind of bizarre. Really? Well, I think it's pretty strange that you're still friendly enough with your ex to send him a gift. Well, things were fine when we were together and fine when we broke up, so why not stay friends? Yeah, but you're not exactly helping Ben trust you, are you? There's another man in your life who you're in an intimate relationship with before, and you're still sending him birthday gifts. And he's not a family member. Okay, I get your point. That's, I know Emma meant well here, but it's kind of hard to tell what to think at this point in the game, isn't it? Hi, Laurie. Coming to the party at Kitty's? No, I don't feel like it. I'm so tired. Too bad everyone will be there. Alright, so she's kind of stopped hanging out with everyone by January. I'm totally exhausted. The only thing I feel like doing is going home and crawling into bed. Oh, that's a pity. February kayaking trip. Would you and Ben like to come? No response. And then by March, just gone. Oh, interesting. Well, the contact with Alex, something was going on with him very recently. So let's see what this is about. I mean, there's going to be a juicy history with Alex, because Laura blew up on him in an email after the scandal broke out because she assumed it was him. I mean, largely because that raunchy email was a video that she had made for him back when they were together, but let's read through these messages with Alex. I sent you a parcel. Did you receive it? No, I don't have it yet. But I paid for express delivery. I'll let you know the moment I get it. It's here. This was a couple days later. Yeah, 3 days later. It's here. It has birthday do not open written on the package. Is that right? Can I open it now, or do I have to wait 6 months? I know I'm a tad late, but it was intentional. Tomorrow will be exactly 6 months after your birthday. Oh, so when can I actually open this parcel? Tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes. Alex, thanks! Antoine Grillette's latest album. Ha! Very merry unbirthday to you, by the way. It's been all I've been able to listen to all day. Ahead to November, when Ben entered her life. Hi, I'm starting to work at the Emperor restaurant today. I'm stressed out. Damn, we missed each other. I'm sure I'll go fine. It was okay. A couple weeks later. Alex, you're not at work? No, day off today, but I'm going out, so I won't be home much longer. You're going out? A romantic day with your girlfriend at a cozy little cafe? Well, that's not gonna happen. Really? We more or less broke up 2 weeks ago. Things weren't working out between us. We didn't like the same things and we didn't have the same goals, but don't worry about it. It's cool. Oh. Well, anyway, everything's fine. Don't worry. I feel dumb. Why? I was going to tell you about my love life, but never mind. No, I'm interested. Are you sure? Yeah, tell me everything. I met someone, smiley face, about a month ago. He's called Ben. What's he like? Honestly, he's the kind of guy who will check on you to see if everything's okay at least once a day and things like that, and he loves my cooking too. Cool, I'm happy for you. Are you sure you don't mind me talking about my relationship? Sure, no problem. Cool. Okay, gotta go. I have to finish getting ready. See you later. Right, so last time they talked was in November. February, everything blows up. Alright, here we go. Laura, what's all this about the email? What happened? Are you kidding me? Go ahead, play innocent. Laura, I have no idea what you're talking about. At least tell me what you're accusing me of. You know full well you sent what you sent to all the people at the office and to my work contacts. I don't know what your problem is, but you're a little shit. Okay, so why don't you just calm down and explain what this is all about? Calm down? You're such a jerk. I'm just disappointed in myself that I didn't notice earlier. What are you talking about, Laura? Do you want me to spell it out or what? Yes, please. The sexy video I sent you when you were together. Okay, first, 1. Do you think I actually kept it? 2. Why would I send it to your work contacts? And anyway, how would I get hold of all your contacts? Are you kidding? Who else but you would have that video, huh? It's one thing that you're a moron, but the fact that you're too much of a coward to admit what you've done, you're gross. Okay, listen. Just think for a moment and you'll realize it couldn't have been me. 1. I don't have access to your work contacts, and even on Power Job it would take me a crazy amount of time and too much research to find them. 2. I have no reason to do that to you. If I was pissed off that we weren't together anymore, I wouldn't do something like that to you now, years later. 3. Let's say I did want to hurt you in some way. I would never have used that video, which would immediately point to me as the prime suspect. So I'll leave you to think about it. Have a nice day. Laura? I know you've seen my messages. Please, answer me. Hey Alex, I dozed off yesterday, but having slept on it, I realize it makes no sense to accuse you. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I'm exhausted and mad at the whole world. It would have been easier for me to process it if it had been you. At least I would have had some idea of who it was, because no one had access to that video except for you and me. Don't hate me, please. Okay, so as far as Laura's concerned, Alex is off the hook, and yeah, I'm starting to agree that Again, I'm more suspicious of Ben than I am of him. Oh, it's cool. I guess you're pretty stressed out, but unfortunately, no, it wasn't me. Either someone's hacked your account or has direct access to your computer and phone. If I were you, I'd start changing all your passwords, and then set a password to lock your PC and phone if you haven't done that already. And for your phone, you should download Security Chest, or Securichest. It's an app where you can hide all the applications you don't want people to access, so I hope that'll help a little. Thanks so much, and once again, my humblest apologies. Alright, jumping ahead to, like basically just a couple days ago. Hey, sorry I haven't been in touch for a while. I hope you're okay. Do you know how to choose secure passwords? I'm not sure, but what I do know is that long passwords are more secure. It needs to contain at least 8 characters and can't be easy to crack. You have to avoid obvious sequences like A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4, your birthday, that kind of stuff. At least 8 characters? My brain is in meltdown at the moment. I may not be able to remember them. Just choose something you use it every day. For example, a password you use in your phone, followed by another code you use regularly. I use the code for the alarm that I have to reset every time I leave and enter the restaurant. Thanks. Alright, well that's evidently a clue for something that's going to come up later. Alright, well the last person in this app is Carmen. Take a quick water break here. Carmen, I can't remember. Is there aircon in your restaurant? Sure, in the cold storage room. It's really hot, brain's melting. Alright, so let's go ahead and just kind of skim through this until we find something kind of relevant to the situation here. Well, I do have info about when she got her job offer, I guess. That's right, Carmen is Laura's sister. I forgot about that. And then Carmen's birthday is September 21st. Job rejection, bummer. Not enough experience, that's always the thing, right? Oh, did she meet Ben on the 23rd? Yeah, Ben from I don't know how to pronounce that, Shen Tauk Consulting. Right, so she met him on the 23rd of October. Reached out to him on Power Job. More job rejections. Went to the movies together. Can't find the keys to Ben's apartment. Yeah, right. So there's all these situations where Ben took forever to make a copy of the key, which without being able to have that key, Laura just had to stay home because she couldn't leave without locking the door, which again might have just been a subtle way of keeping her trapped in that apartment and away from people. But here's where she gets the job. Starting in January. Carmen, I have to tell you, something truly horrendous has happened at work. I really have to talk to you. Laura, I just saw your missed calls. I'll call you. And then they talk things over. May 17th. Carmen, have you got a minute? Yeah, it's fine. We don't have too many customers and others can manage for the moment. What's the problem? What's the latest your period has ever been? Oh, I don't know, 3 or 4 days maybe? Okay. I haven't had my period during my pill-free days. Oh, have you done a test? I bought one at the drugstore. It was negative, but I don't know if I left it long enough. And I also forgot to take my pill a few times. Oh, is that what was meant by the pill this entire time? Is that she was taking? Oh, that okay. I mean, duh, that makes sense. Yeah, she was taking it except for when she was on her cycle, but... Oh my god, could that all be the thing that's caused her to run away, is that she might have gotten pregnant? Forgot to take my pill a few times. Okay, I'm freaking out here. I don't want a baby right now. I don't know if I want a kid with Ben right now. It'll all be fine. We'll work it out. First, go and have a blood test. The drugstore testing kits aren't always reliable. Laura? I'll call you. You call me. Oh my god. So Laura might have gotten pregnant with her boyfriend, who we can assume might be an abuser, which is really scary. Could that be what she's running away for? I mean, could she be running away to, you know, get an abortion for the unwanted pregnancy? I mean, that's just my speculation, but that could be what this is leading to. Alright, so... That's right, we have another app in this, don't we? Password is 2121, right? Alright, so we have this as well. Her cloud account. We can get into her work account too, but we need to know the password, right? Alright, so I remember she, along with asking one of her friends, or it was Alex, she asked Alex how to make a secure password, but there was somebody else she was talking to about passwords as well. Pretty recently, I think. Oops. I remember it was one of these people on Power Job. She was like, hey, can you give me some advice on how to use a cloud service? It's probably toward the bottom of these messages because it was very recently she was trying to set up this account. He hasn't talked to Charlotte since the incident at work. Last thing she said to Claire was, as they were talking about Ben. Last contact with Ethan was when she lost the business deal, right? Yeah. Then Michael. Just normal work stuff. Oh, right, okay, here. Choose password, move stuff over. Okay, so she was setting up this account to be able to keep certain messages and move them to a new phone, and from there she threw out this phone is presumably what happened, but that's not gonna be closer to the password. What was Alex's advice on the password? How's this battery still at 100? He must be charging. A password you use on your phone followed by a code you use regularly. A password she uses on her phone. I mean, she has that 2121 number. Another code. Well, that could be the code she uses regularly. A password she uses on this phone. What passwords have you had to use so far? I don't remember. Might need a bit of a hint on this one. Alright, so Steam Guide says the first part of the password will be the security chest one, which is what I was suspecting. The second one is the digicode of the... Oh, the code of the place Laura lives in? I remember that. It was 4004, right? Hello, Grace. Welcome. Grace, this is not a very comfy game. We're in kind of a pretty crazy situation here. Do you want to hear it? If you're actively watching. I don't know how long you've been watching, but... I'm like extremely sus of the situation, Grace. This is a stressful game right here. And before I jump into this password, I need to catch you up on what's going on. Because we might be hearing something that's pretty crazy and non-comfy, Grace. Yeah, so Grace, to catch you up on what's going on, based on my suspicions, if you watched a little bit of this game at all, you would have seen we were looking through our messages, and we met this guy named Ben, and we've been dating this guy named Ben, we've been living with him. What happened during the last stream, right before stream crashed and everything went crazy, is that there is this girl that Ben knew named Claire, and Ben was like, I don't want to go to any social gathering where Claire's there, because that girl was kind of creeping on me, like she was like pursuing me, and I wasn't about it. I don't really want to see her because she was just kind of toxic. But then eventually Claire reaches out to Laura about stuff, and Claire is like, I need to warn you about Ben. He was like super horrible to his ex-girlfriend. He was like an abuser. And Laura's like, I don't believe you, leave me alone. At first I was like, I don't know who to believe in this. But now, I'm really suspicious of Ben. I'm super suspicious of him. Because when you really think about all the stuff that's going on, their relationship moved extremely quickly. Like, they moved in together within, like, literally a month of knowing each other. It was something like that. At a time where Laura was kind of financially desperate because she was kind of unemployed for a time. And then we start piecing together all these other dots. We're like, wait a minute. We look through all these contacts she had, and we noticed that about 2 months into a relationship is when she was getting really socially cut off. Like, she used to have a really active social life, and suddenly in like January, she's not spending time with anybody except for Ben. She's like, I can't hang out. I got to spend time with Ben. I don't know if Ben would like me to go to this thing. And we're like, wait a minute. So very fast moving relationship. They live together. She spends time with like nobody else. And then we got some deets. We're looking through messages with Laura's sister. And we think... Nothing has really been said about the relationship with Ben outright. They're just kind of hinting at it so far. But the last contact I managed to see before I'm trying to get into this cloud app to view some other secret messages is that we think that Laura's pregnant. And that she might have run away to get away from Ben, knowing that she might be pregnant right now. And that is where we are in the story at the moment. Because there was all this stuff going on earlier in the game. Yeah, it's like, uh-oh, this is pretty crazy. And, like, she probably wanted to run away before Ben could even know she's pregnant. That's probably what's going on. And I didn't piece together for a long time. I'm going to be perfectly honest, right? So let me find the calendar. Whoops, that's emails, not the calendar. So the calendar, we've had this thing about, you see pills, like, everywhere. And given these are pills, like, everyday pills, I probably should have, like, put this together sooner. But... to be perfectly honest, given the events of the first game, I had been assuming the pills might have something to do with like a gender transition, like hormones. That's honestly where I thought the game was going just because of what happened in the first one. And I hate to give spoilers on this, but I guess I'm just talking to Grace right now. But then I was like, wait a minute, she's taking pills like all the time except for these very short breaks. And I was like, let me go back here. November, doctor's appointment, pills. I'm like, oh, of course, it's birth control. That's what it is. And then she's not taking birth control when it's that time of the month. And that's what the pills are. And now she's pregnant and she's freaked out. And that's why she was talking to her sister about it. And it's just, Oh my god, it's super scary. It's really stressful. And now we need to get into this secret work account to be able to find even more deets. And I think the password is 21214004. And I am in. We have 2 notes. I'll check those before the messages. Wait, what? Wait, when that was synchronized, what does that mean? Does it mean I got them onto this phone? Oh, cloud. Okay, cloud. In April, it's a conference about domestic violence. Oh no. April 27th, 6:01 p.m. And she was running away to go to conferences. That's what she was like, hiding these conferences, pretending it was for work functions. Because she's had to like disappear to go to these events every now and then. All right. Domestic violence equals cycle. Manifest progressively within a relationship. Initially tension and hostility. Cycle equals 4 phases. Tension phase. Irritability of the perpetrator, which is attributed to work, stress, traffic issues, etc. No physical violence, but hostile silences, aggressive looks, irritable tone, etc. Everything the victim does is a source of irritation to the perpetrator. Their stress and frustration is always the victim's fault. The victim tries to find out what's wrong, but is faced with responses like, no, it's nothing, I don't know why you're complaining, etc. Eventually it leads to verbal aggression and insults, and the victim regrets asking. Aggressive phase. The perpetrator appears to be losing control, yelling, insults, threats, breaking objects, often leading up to physical violence. Progressive physical violence, pushing, arm twisting, slaps, punches, use of a weapon. The victim is overwhelmed by feelings of powerlessness and sadness rather than anger. Excuses phase. The perpetrator tries to deny or downplay his behavior. He finds an explanation that shifts the blame onto the victim. Is the victim's fault or the result of external pressure? He promises to change, says that everything will be fine, that he'll see a psychologist, etc. More promises, emotional blackmail. I need you. I'm nothing without you. I would die without you, etc. Reconciliation phase. A honeymoon period. The perpetrator is suddenly attentive, considerate, showers the victim with gifts, etc. The perpetrator is very sincere. Fearing that the victim will really leave him, he begs for forgiveness. Renewed hope that the perpetrator will really change, but this is simply raises the victim's tolerance threshold to violence. The victim thinks they can cure him, help him, etc. The victim was frightened during the aggressive phase, but this phase persuades them to stay. The phases repeat themselves and spiral into a vicious cycle. The victim eventually perceives this violence as normal, and their life can be at serious risk if this continues. Jekyll and Hyde behavioral patterns. I just real quick want to check Laura's calendar for April. Wait, so she wasn't even, based on her calendar, we don't even presume that she was out of town on April 27th. That's interesting. Where did you get this information about domestic violence from then? It seemed like there was some sort of conference, but maybe Oh, whoops, the notes are in her regular notes app right now. She also, on the same day, April 27th, she was writing symptoms of presumably, like, mental illness. April 27th, Domestic Violence Conference 2. Physical and psychological violence are linked. There is no physical violence without the psychological violence that precedes it. Psychological violence equals a series of attitudes and comments to denigrate, destabilize, and hurt the other person. This is not a unique event, but is an integral part of the relationship. It is intended to subdue the other, control them, and to maintain the feeling of power. Subtle mistreatment without physically striking, creating tension, frightening the victim to demonstrate his power. Difficulty to quantify and evaluate because it is subjective and depends on the level of sensitivity of each victim. Several types of behavioral patterns or attitudes that can be considered microaggressions. Control. Possessive vocabulary monitoring the victim maliciously in order to dominate and command them, e.g. taking control of mealtimes, sleep, spending, social life, etc., which is the pattern that we noticed with Laura, is that she really became isolated with her friends about 2 months into this relationship. Isolation. Isolating the victim from family, friends, colleagues, social acquaintances. The perpetrator ensures that the victim's life is essentially focused on him exclusively, e.g. taking the victim's phone, computer, etc., insinuations and lies about other people in the victim's life. Isolation is both a cause and a consequence of mistreatment. Pathological jealousy. Jealous behavior, constant suspicion, unfounded accusations of intent, etc., no basis in reality. Requires the victim's continuous and exclusive presence. There is no way of appeasing pathological jealousy because it is simply a denial of reality. Harassment. Repeating a message to exhaust mental and critical judgment capacities of the victim equals to make them accept anything, monitoring the person, following the victim in the street, harassing them on the phone, waiting for the victim as she leaves work. Harassment often occurs after a breakup. Denigration affects the victim's self-esteem, making them believe they are worthless. Dismissive attitudes and hurtful words causes the victim to lose self-confidence. Expresses doubts about the victim's mental health, denigrates their intellectual abilities, their body and appearance, etc. Launches a systematic attack on the victim's family, friends, and/or children. This can happen with words that appear to be sincere and normal. Humiliation. Disparages, ridicules, and acts in a disrespectful way toward the victim. This is merely an outlet for the perpetrator's anger, e.g. mocking, spitting in the victim's face, making crude noises, urinating on the victim. Oh, jeez. Creating a feeling of shame that serves as an additional obstacle to prevent the victim from talking about their concerns. Intimidation. Exhibits acts of indirect violence, e.g. on their environment, breaking objects, slamming doors, etc., driving too fast, cruelty towards a pet, etc. Shows the victim that physical violence could happen to them too, creates a feeling of fear in the victim. Indifference to emotional demands, refusal to show any concern for the victim, insensitivity, making a show of rejection or contempt. Initially creates a situation of lack and frustration, refusing to communicate, going to family events, etc. Disregarding the physical or psychological state of the other. Threats. Blackmail, threats of suicide, threatens to withhold money, to abduct children, etc. Threats of retaliation against the family or entourage, maintaining power over the victim. Some of these actions seem normal and isolated, but when they happen repeatedly over a long period of time to the same person, they become a form of violence. The perpetrator takes advantage of the emotional weaknesses of the victim, wearing them down mentally. This is, yeah. I think we've pretty much confirmed my theory about the abuse in the relationship, and this is getting really intense. Need a quick water break. I've had to read through a lot here. The next thing we have is a lot of messages, text messages that we can get access to. A lot of new messages to check here. Some in the cloud from Charlotte. Alright, so messages that were very recent that were not seen. And I presume she was hiding these on the cloud to keep them away from Ben, because these were only a couple days ago, and Laura was making plans to run away. So let's see these messages in the cloud. Alright, so we have all this going on before the relationship, and there's people having a really loud conversation outside right now. Alright, so cloud in May. Oh, right, she does have a work phone. That's what's going on. All these messages were happening on her work phone. And that's how she was able to hide stuff. Alright, Charlotte, on May 17th. Hi, Laura, how are you feeling today? So. Why are you texting me on my work phone? After what you told me about your guy, I wanted to text you somewhere he couldn't read the message. Anyway, I suggest you use a password to lock your work phone and never unlock it in front of him. He already flew into this heavy, jealous rage when I wanted to lock my personal phone, so I don't think that's a good idea. What do you mean heavy? He yelled at me and said I was hiding things from him. He accused me of having a lover and said I didn't really love him, and that I was locking my phone because I didn't trust him. Okay, I get it. That's bad. It's not normal, you know. I don't know, but at the same time I understand him. He needs reassurance to know that I love him. Don't you think it's a mark of trust in the other person to let him see the contents of your phone? No, I disagree. A real mark of trust would be to believe the other person and not always feel the need to have proof of their love and faithfulness by snooping through their phone. Plus, it's important for both partners to have their own secret garden. Listen, for him it's not really negotiable. He's been lied to in the past and needs some reassurance. Yeah, I get it, but it's not great. If you want a reason for locking your phone, you'll just have to say Michael insisted on it. Michael is the boss, for context, if this is the work phone we're talking about. What do you mean? So you lock your work phone and tell him it was Michael's orders, and he and he wants the work phones to be more secure because the phone contains confidential work stuff. Yeah, okay, I don't see why I would need to lie to him, though. It's unhealthy not to have a space where you can grouch about your relationship occasionally without him knowing. Yeah, but if I'm having relationship problems, I should just talk to him, shouldn't I? Sure, but it's sometimes good to talk to your girlfriends to have another point of view. Okay, I'll lock this phone. A couple days later. Oh, this is in March, so I read this as being in May. This is in March. So this had been going on for a while. In May, if it was May 17th, it would be like just a couple weeks before she ran away. So March 20th, after she decided to lock the phone. Hi, how are you? Exhausted. I've just been running for an hour. Wow, congratulations. Where do you go running now? It's been a while since we bumped into each other at the park. That's hardly surprising because I run on a treadmill we have at home. Oh gosh, she's being kept at home. Wow, those things are expensive, aren't they? It was a present from Ben. A pretty silly gift, huh? I mean, you can run outside for free. Yeah, but it's so handy I can run when I want to and I don't get harassed in the street by stupid men. Since when have stupid men stopped you from running? Well, that's true, but Ben was worried about me and prefers me not to go out. Ugh. Wait a second, what do you mean he prefers you not to go out, exactly? Yeah, he's afraid something might happen to me. But you do go out, don't you? You go shopping, meet friends, you still see Amelia, Elsa. I get the shopping delivered, it's easier, and I'm talking to my friends less and less at the moment. Stress. Oh no. Yeah. Why is that? Oh, you know, you tend to have fewer friends as time goes on, and when you're in a relationship, you don't see people as much. This is pretty much a textbook example of gaslighting, right? To manipulate the person to think that they're the one being unreasonable and adopt like this new set of beliefs that conform to what the abuser is telling them. But you still see Emma, don't you? Not really. Since I've been with Ben, things have become a little complicated. Nearly all of my friends have faded away. I'm starting to wonder if they're jealous. What do you mean, jealous? Well, you know, I'm one of those rare and lucky people among my girlfriends who's found a job they love and my life with Ben is fabulous. Not only am I happy in my relationship, but he has money too, so financially I'm living in a fairy tale while they're struggling. And you think they're keeping their distance because they're jealous. That's the only explanation Ben and I could... I don't know if you want Ben to help you come up with explanations, Laura. That's the only explanation Ben and I could come up with. Sad, but there it is. Laura, I'm sorry to tell you this, but Ben's behavior isn't normal. He's the one who's jealous. I get the impression he's controlling you, that he's isolating you. Don't be ridiculous. I'm saying this based on what you're telling me. He's jealous and wants to read the contents of your phone. He controls you by not letting you go out on your own. He's manipulating you with the treadmill gift. He's isolating you from your girlfriends by insinuating that they're jealous of you. That is not normal, and this doesn't happen in a normal relationship. He has a problem. Points for Charlotte for being the one who can see through all this stuff, by the way. You always focus on the negative. It's not like that at all, Charlotte. I swear it's nothing to worry about. Okay, he has his faults, but nothing serious. Charlotte is... So Charlotte isn't the sister. Charlotte is just a close friend of hers, I believe. Or is she a close friend from work or just from outside of work? I honestly don't remember. But anyway, a good friend who sees through the illusions. No, he has a problem, and of course you're blind to it. You're madly in love with him. Okay, so you have your own take on things, and you just won't let it go. You're a pain in the ass. I guess it's useless talking to you. Laura, please! Please! Sorry if I'm interfering, it's none of my business, but I'm worried. Like I told you, everything's fine. Leave me alone. I'm here if you need me. Okay, I don't mean to sound like I don't mean to sound like I'm victim blaming Laura because, she's in a really bad situation here, and it's not her fault for not being able to see the stuff that's happening. Like, obviously she realizes it at this point in time now in like June, and hindsight is 2020, but I do feel really bad for her for what she's going through here, and that she's basically being turned against her friends without realizing it. It's sad. Anyway, and I like how, Charlotte has done everything right, and hopefully things will. Oh God, a lot of messages with no reply. March 27th. Hi Laura, how are you? This is a week later. Nothing. April. Hey, I don't know if you're mad at me, but I still consider you my friend, and I'm here if you need me. Unreplied. Over a week after that. Just to wish you a very happy birthday, and I hope everything's okay with you. No reply. A couple days later. Hi, thanks for your happy birthday message. How are you at the moment? Not great, I have to say. What's up? So it's over a month, right, it's about a month after their serious talk. One of Ben's former friends contacted me and said some terrible things about him that have really upset me. Right, so to catch you up on things, Grace, this is the moment where the girl named Claire, who Ben had told Laura that he doesn't want to see in person, Claire, who had actually, Laura's suspicious of Claire because Claire had been pretending to be someone else. Or not pretending to be someone else, but had talked to her under a fake name in a work, like, professional context, had changed to a fake name to talk with Laura about work-related stuff. And later it comes out that she was actually Claire the entire time, and Claire's like, what have you been hiding from me? Why are you lying about your name? And Claire's like, I knew if you knew who I was, then you wouldn't have believed me, and I wanted to be able to get through to you first. And anyway, Claire's the one who reached out and said that Ben was like an abuser, and that he is not to be trusted. And Claire had also been suggesting that this scandal that happened at work that isolated Laura from everybody at work. To catch you up, Grace, because I think you might have missed this, is that Laura was caught up in a thing at work where basically, like, revenge porn was sent to everybody at her workplace. And, like, all of her, like, professional contacts as well, basically. And it completely ruined her career. And at first, Laura thought that was her ex-boyfriend who did that, but it totally wasn't. And now we can definitely presume that it was Ben who did that. Ben had probably been trying to get her to lose her job. Instead, it got her stuck working at home, which either way serves Ben's malicious purposes. Assuming this is all what we think is going on. Yeah. It's a messy situation. This game has been messy for quite a while. Anyway, to read on. One of Ben's former friends contacted me and said some terrible things about him that have really upset me. I can imagine. Have you mentioned it to Ben? No. Really? Why? She told me he had a history of violent behavior with his ex, and it's really freaking me out. But then Ben already told me about this girl, how she was in love with him and would do anything to have him to herself. I don't know what to think. Okay, so how do you feel about it? My first reaction was not to believe her, but then I thought about everything you said and started to realize that I should leave him. And I've given it some serious thought, especially as he's been pretty difficult to live with recently. But he was so sweet on my birthday, so I'm confused. He's aware of his faults, Which means he knows he's too possessive, and he does apologize. His work is really exhausting. Sometimes he drinks a little too much to unwind, and he says things he doesn't really mean. Alcohol is no excuse for bad behavior. but he knows when he's gone too far. And my birthday was so romantic. He took me on a surprise weekend and it was fantastic. I really felt like he discovered the Prince Charming I'd rediscovered the Prince Charming I once knew. But aren't you scared he'll start over? No, not at all. He even promised to see a psychologist to address his anger management issues. Okay, keep me posted on how the situation develops, alright? Okay. Promise? Promise. A week later. Hi, how are you now? Did things get better with Ben? No. What do you mean? Since he worries about me all the time, he got me to install an app so I can quickly send him my GPS coordinates if I have a problem. Oh, thank God we haven't been able to turn that on. The GPS has been shut down, and we have been wondering, because back at the very beginning of this game, we had this GPS and we couldn't turn it on. And I was like, oh man, if I could turn this GPS on, and Laura's missing, and Ben, in his last text, had been trying to find her, we could have helped Ben find her. Now, thank God we haven't been able to turn that GPS on. Good Lord. Since he worries me, he got me installed GPS coordinates. Basically, if it was meant to be a really practical thing. So if I was attacked or anything, I could in theory discreetly press a button to let him know where I was. But then he wanted me to use it at a specific time to reassure him, so he knew I was safe at home. So I was sending him a message every lunchtime. Then it turned into twice a day, then 3 times, and finally every hour. And the other day, I went out to get a coffee, and when I used the app, I told him I was out. When he came back that night, he went into his massive jealous rage, and it made no sense. He was convinced I was meeting another guy at the cafe, and he just got this idea into his head. He was yelling at me. It was horrible. I just let him yell at me. I was paralyzed with fear. He wouldn't let me sleep that night. As soon as I dozed off, he'd wake me up again and demand I tell him the name of the person I was at the cafe with. The next morning at breakfast, I told him I'd had enough and I couldn't go on like this. Then his attitude totally changed. He told me he was nothing without me and I meant everything to him, that he was scared of losing me, that he didn't know what he would do without me. I'd really like to leave him, but I'm scared to, I'm frightened for him. He needs me to help him get better. It's not you he needs. It's a therapist. I thought he was going to see a psychologist. He made an appointment but had to cancel because he was busy at work that day. Don't you get the feeling it's the same old pattern? He behaves badly, you threaten to leave, he apologizes, and you change your mind? Listen, there's a conference followed by a support group meeting held by an association supporting victims of domestic violence. I've got a friend who works there. I'm going and I'd really like you to come with me, okay? Right, so this is where the notes came from. And Laura was brought to this conference. Oh, but I'm not a victim of domestic violence. Ben's never hit me. Okay, so he's never hit you, but sometimes when I talk, I get the when you talk, I get the feeling you're suffering psychological abuse, and the conference will be tackling that issue too. What do I know? I'm not an expert, but it could be interesting to meet them, don't you think? Worst case scenario, you'll see that it doesn't apply to you, and at best you'll learn something about domestic abuse. It happens a lot, but people tend not to talk about it. If you could at least find out, surely. So, what do I tell Ben, the reason why I'm not there when he gets back? Tell him you're having a drink with me, and I'll bring you home. That way he'll see you're not with another guy. Okay, when is it? Next Thursday after work. Well, why not? I'll drop by and pick you up. This is the day after the conference. How are you feeling today? Bad. I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. I kept getting up to read the notes I took during the meeting. There are so many things I recognized in Ben's behavior, it scares me. I feel so dumb and stupid for not realizing earlier. I've been so blind and you were so right. No, you're not stupid. The important thing is you've woken up to what's going on. You're a strong woman and brave. I agree. But I've been so dumb to allow myself to be manipulated like that. I guess I should leave him, but I don't know what to do. I don't even have a place of my own anymore. You can come and stay with me if you need to, when you're ready. Thank you so much, Charlotte. I'm so lucky that I can count on you. When I think of all the women talking at the support group yesterday, some are living in situations much worse than mine and have nobody around to help them. Thanks for being there for me. I'll always be there for you, and if something ever happens to me and I can't help you, you won't be alone. Look at all those women yesterday. Some terrible things happened to them and they thought they'd never come through, but the association always supported them and stuck by them. That's true, but I must insist, I can't thank you enough for your support. May 2nd. Hey, how are you today? I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling so much better. Ben organized a lovely surprise to celebrate our 6 months anniversary. It was fantastic. You know, maybe I exaggerated a little last time. It's not like he's a monster. Remember what they said at the conference about cycles of violence? I think that's what's happening between you and Ben. It's okay at the moment, but it's not the first time things have turned out bad and then got better. Can I suggest something? Count the number of times a day Ben's behavior... Oh my god, it's the counter app. Count the number of times a day Ben's behavior becomes unacceptable. That way you can monitor if there's a cycle with a steady progression of unacceptable behavior. Then if it stops, then it gets progressively worse again. Okay, I'm going to install a counter on my phone to check that. Write everything down, won't you? Even the little innocuous moments. So if he comments on how I dressed, do I write that down too? Yeah, even that. It's not up to him to tell you how to dress. It's your body, it's your choice. Keep me posted on what happens, okay? Okay. May 18th. How are you? Oh no. She stopped responding. May 23rd. Hi Laura, I haven't heard from you. I'm worried. Are you okay? May 25th. Laura, please let me know if you're okay. I just want to make sure you're still alive. That's really scary. June 1st. Sorry, I haven't been in touch for so long. I've made up my mind. Ben is dangerous. I have to leave this town. I think I'm going to report him to the police. You're right to report him. However, are you sure you really have to get out of town because of him? I don't want to leave just because of him. I want to go because I need to breathe again, to heal myself in a peaceful and healthy environment. I'm just worried that I have nowhere to go. Listen, maybe I have a solution, but that means I'll have to talk about your situation with Michael. Are you okay with that? Okay. Okay, so I will add before we read on, just a quick pause here. I will add that as far as we know about Michael right now, I mean, we're about to read what's said about him here, and we're almost at the end of the messages with Charlotte, but Michael is her boss, and it seems like Michael has also been a really understanding and supportive person. Michael is her boss, and Laura had expected to get fired after the video leaks happened in her workplace, but Michael is super supportive and said, "I'm sorry this has happened to you. It's not your fault. You haven't done anything wrong. It's a horrible thing that happened." And Michael was like, "You're still employed with us. You're going to work at home. You've been a good contribution to our workplace, and we're going to keep you around," basically. So Michael has been super supportive, and I hope that the boss can also be super supportive through what's going on here as well. Don't mention it, but just one thing. You'll have to return your work phone to Michael. I would suggest you make a backup of all the content relative to your situation with Ben. It'll be useful for you to have a timeline of events and maybe store the evidence for when you report him. Ask Nadia in the IT department. She'll explain how you can save the content. I'll call you soon with more details. Meanwhile, just act normally with Ben. You don't want him to suspect anything. Right, so this is the point where she talked to Nadia, the IT expert, about how to set up all this cloud stuff that says she could keep all these messages about the abuse situation safe securely so she could transfer it to a different phone and get it off the work phone. This is really evolved just with Charlotte. Are there any other messages with anybody else that were on the cloud? Amir. Who is Amir again? Is Amir somebody we have in our work contacts? I honestly don't remember that name. We don't have Amir in our work contacts, so that might be somebody from the domestic violence shelter. So we need to look at this counter app. When did she start using it? In May? Yeah, oh my god, so you can really see it escalating. 14 times in a day that he was somehow like aggressive or abusive to her. Then it stops. And then comes back 16. 25. Like right before she leaves. Is this when did she tell Charlotte that she was for sure leaving? This is not the right app. June 1st, and wow, that's horrifying. 21 times in one day. So Grace just explained the counter is that during this whole cycle of abuse, Charlotte had told as an exercise in tracking this stuff, Charlotte said, I want you to take count every time that Ben does anything that you could consider even remotely abusive. Like any sort of like aggressive comment, temper tantrum, anything. Anytime he does anything out of line, I want you to record it somehow. And Laura says, okay, I'll install a counter app on my phone and just discreetly record it. And the night before, Laura's like, I'm getting out of here, I'm running out of town. Ben went out of line somehow 25 times in one day. And apparently one time, the day she decided she was leaving, it picks up 14 times immediately before she runs. That's scary. And the scary thing, we don't even know what this is either. Like, as far as we knew from the messages, like, Ben has never been like physically violent, but those are messages dating back a couple weeks or months, so we don't even know what happened in like these last couple days. And for like this much in the span of like one day. This is like, it's going back to like the first game where like I knew that every single app on this phone was going to serve some sort of importance. I don't know what I was thinking about. Like, I thought this might have something to do with like the pills or something when I first saw it. Because again, I thought that the pills that Laura's taking had something to do with like gender hormones. I had no idea that this would be something completely different, but wow. All right, so the next thing we have to do here is we have some messages on the cloud from a person named Amir, and I don't know who this is, so we're going to jump up at the top. Oh, okay, so this starts in June. So this is when she decided she was leaving. Hi, Amir, it's Laura, Ben's girlfriend. I just wanted to know if you're still friends with Claire. Don't tell Ben I asked you. Hi, Laura, yeah, why? Ben told me she tried to enter his relationship with his ex Julia while they were still together because she wanted to date him herself. Is this true? No, I don't think so. And anyway, Claire was dating Oliver at the time. Claire told me that Ben was violent with Julia. Do you think that's true? Let's say Julia was a complicated girl, but I get the impression there are times when he really lost it with her. I advised Ben to see a therapist or join a support group for people with anger issues, but he wouldn't listen. But you still remain friends with him? Yeah. Why didn't you tell me this before? Oh, I don't know. What goes on in Ben's private life is none of my business, and it's ancient history now. Yeah, well, you could have at least warned me. Listen, I already told him to get some help. I did what I could. Wow. This isn't what I was expecting Amir to be somebody related to like the Domestic Violence Network or something, but this is a real a very real example of like male complacency in this kind of situation of like, you know, bros defending bros or whatever. That Amir basically knew something was up with Ben and that he was abusive to a past partner, and he kind of told him like he should he told Ben to get some help. He didn't really seem to be very concerned about the girlfriend, did he? But he told Ben to do something once, and then when Ben didn't, he was just like, whatever, man. It's sad and kind of frustrating. All right. What the? An email from Laura. An email on the phone? On this phone? Lost phone to Laura to me. This message is for the unknown person who may find this phone. My name is Laura and I own this phone. I'm not writing this to get it back, but I may need your kind help. My partner is a violent and dangerous man. I've just left him to start a new life somewhere else and deliberately dropped this phone at a station when I was changing trains. I wanted to get rid of it so he couldn't locate me. I called my sister who told me that he was harassing the people close to me to find out where I was, and that makes my blood run cold. I've installed an app on my phone, I Am Here. If you use it, the app will send a notification indicating the phone's GPS coordinates. I'm hoping to lead him down a false trail so he leaves my friends and family alone. The code to unlock the GPS is attached. Obviously, I would please ask you to erase the data on this phone and then throw it away so he can't locate me, and to prevent him from harassing you as well. Whatever, don't worry about me. I'm safe and intend to make a formal complaint against him. Attachment. Alright, so yes, this phone has been ditched. And we want Ben to be thrown off by the GPS signal. Save the image. Okay, so it's like a backwards N. And then it goes left, up, right, left. Backwards N, left, up, right, left. And this is to turn the GPS on. Oops. What the? That's not the line I'm trying to start from, bro. What? Do I have the right idea here? I mean, there's not as many dots as I'm seeing in this photo. Oh, it's because I'm reading it wrong. Duh. It doesn't start from the... Okay, so... It starts from there, and then... The only dot that doesn't get touched is the upper right one. I guess it's because the diagram is so huge that I didn't read it the right way. There it is. Enable GPS location. How do I delete everything on this phone? Do I do that after I send the GPS? It was Ben who sent the video. I apologize again for having wrongly accused you. I could see things were going badly in our relationship, but every time I told myself I was going to leave him, he became adorable, sweet, and romantic again. I really thought he would change, but the cycle kept repeating. The doctor said I was missing my period because I was so stressed and had lost a lot of weight. And when Ben discovered I wasn't pregnant, he went crazy and called me selfish for not wanting to have a child with him. And then it suddenly dawned on me. The pale reminders that had disappeared from my phone, it was him. He wanted me to forget. And he didn't even deny when I confronted him. So he was trying to manipulate her into getting pregnant. What the fuck, man? That's terrifying. You're right, forgive me for not believing you. Ben was insanely jealous and I now realize he was manipulating me. He was convinced I was hiding things from him and I think he was actually tracking my phone. He ended up pushing me when he tried to snatch it out of my hands. I thought it was best to leave before he went too far, and I threw my phone and SIM card away just in case. I actually felt ashamed. I was convinced that I was to blame for the situation with Ben and didn't dare tell anyone. Forgive me for having gone so far away without letting you know. I just feel empty now. I'm physically and mentally exhausted. But I'm going to take care of myself and rest. I was so stressed out that I couldn't sleep. I feel like I'm slowly recovering from a long illness. Hi Michael, thanks again for authorizing my transfer. I got here safely and the change of scene is doing me so much good. I'm surrounded by great people here and my transfer went very smoothly. I'm preparing my complaint with the help and association with here. Thank you so much once again, Laura. Just thinking for a second here. Just as an observation about the stuff that I've seen in this game and like all the characters, that there's been a lot of characters whose names were mentioned that we never actually interacted with, like some college friends and stuff, but out of the people we've interacted with in the game, of course we have Ben. We have that dude Amir, Ben's friend and basically enabler. And we have a couple creepy dudes from her workplace that when that video was leaked, they literally reached out to her both by email and in like work correspondence, like in that sort of LinkedIn app, like flirting with her and being like, oh, haha, winky face. Oh, I didn't know you were like that, like creeping on her. But then we have the boss who, you know, understood what was going on, let her stay home, has now been totally supportive of helping her get away from her abuser. So I just want to point out that Michael is the only man who we've ever actually like seen interactions with in the game. The only man who has been mature and understanding and upright and has always done the right thing. So that's just an observation that I have about the game. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been there. Even when I pushed you away and didn't want to believe you, you stuck by me. I'm gradually getting back in touch with my old friends, and I'm so glad to know that you're here listening to and supporting me. If you ever need anything at all, don't hesitate to ask, even if we're further away from each other now. So these are all in like the days and weeks since. Erase all data. Get that out of the phone. Hide it all from Ben. Don't let him find anything. Wow. This was heavy. I mean, I shouldn't give spoilers to the first game, because the first game was great as well. By the way, Grace, I don't know if you saw, but Vlad said after watching me play this game that he played this whole game through himself, I guess. So for that reason, I don't want to give spoilers for the first game in the series in case Vlad and others go back and play it. The first game in the series is called A Normal Lost Phone. Just a title drop. But, yeah, the first game, it doesn't get into themes like this. Both of them are kind of about very heavy subjects, but when I started this game I was wondering if it'd be kind of on the same track, and like I said, I was kind of misled about certain cues in the game's story. Like, I totally did not realize that the birth control was what it was, and I think they do that on purpose. They keep things vague, but I thought that this game would take a similar trajectory to the first game, very, very similar themes, and I'm kind of glad that it didn't. Because that would have been cliche, I guess, to basically have another game about a very, very similar topic. But I mean, yeah, it's a very heavy game. Like, I feel like I've learned things from playing this. Like, it was really smart in like making things seem like all normal and good at first, and then you don't know who to trust, and then you see in that this stream is where I first started. Oh, I just want to read this message real quick. If one or several aspects of Laura and Ben's story apply to your current situation or to that of a person close to you, please reach out. There are various designated associations and crisis helplines that can assist you. Right, yeah, I haven't followed the trial of that situation just because it's not really, you know. I know that there's obviously like real world implications to what happened with that trial, but I just don't really like to follow celebrity news in general, I guess. Anyway, to get back to what I was saying, you know, if this game really helped you see the situation from so many angles. Like, at first you empathize with Laura, where she was like going back at Claire saying like, how dare you accuse my boyfriend of being this horrible person? Like, you're the one that was horrible because he said so, and you see her just being manipulated, and then I realized what was happening to her early in the stream. I was like, as soon as I saw that she was being kind of like really cut off from her friends, I was like, this dude isn't right. And then all the pieces really start coming together, and through all this, what's really kind of scary is that like how this is kept so well hidden from everyone, that all the bad stuff with Ben only happens like in person. So like every message you see from Ben in the phone, everything seems totally normal and happy within their relationship. The very last thing you see, like in June, is Ben being like, "Where are you? I haven't slept. I haven't heard from you. I'm worried about you." And he had no idea about the, monster that he really was, I guess. And yeah, just it gives perspective, and the game was really heavy, and like it was intense. It was heavy for me to play. Like I was almost getting kind of choked up just having to read some of this stuff. It's just really horrible stuff to have to read about, and knowing that it happens, of course, to many people of all ages and gender identities, and can happen from both genders within a heterosexual relationship. And it's horrible. And like, yeah, I was kind of getting choked up, or like I genuinely got chills when we got that email from Laura, because this is the sort of game you're entering these passcodes, you're accessing new stuff step by step, and like the story gets so heavy, I was getting afraid of what I would find out, I guess. Like I genuinely was like kind of like worried when I'm having to hit like the check mark to enter a new app, and when I got that email from Laura, I was like, oh my god, like what's she gonna say? Like it was kind of crazy that we've been reading about this girl's backstory this whole time, and suddenly we get a message from her directly. And I was like, what's it going to be? Like, I genuinely got chills, like, through, like, my whole body just getting the message from Laura, because I was like, what's this going to be about? Like, how is this going to end? Because I knew it would be the conclusion of the game, but at least of all things, it has a happy ending. Laura got away. And the scary thing is, like, a lot of people don't, right? So yeah, this is heavy. Also, this game did take quite a long time to beat. I think when I was looking up this game on how long to beat, it said it would only take like an hour and a half, but I've really taken the time to read through like everything in the game, so... And I feel like you do need to get a lot of the hints to solve more puzzles, because the game does have a lot of really clever attention to detail. Anyway, I guess I can look for somebody to raid. I don't usually stream late into the evening on Saturdays in my time. The reason why I'm doing this is because I was going to stream at Nick's place during the daytime, but then I was busy during the day shopping for multiple things, and then as it got later in the afternoon, I was like, oh, well, I think I'd rather exercise and eat dinner first than stream, so that's how it all worked out. RPG Matt is live. He's playing Mario Kart. Paperbag is live doing an art stream. It says Doodles to end stream though, so he might be done fairly soon. We had the streamer that I rated once named Highly in Descent who's playing Animal Crossing. How about we find a new Animal Crossing streamer, like a really small Animal Crossing streamer? I feel like we could rate somebody playing a really wholesome game, because I doubt anybody's playing a game like this. Is a super obscure game. I doubt people are playing it right now, but instead we can do kind of the opposite and just rate somebody playing something super wholesome and chill. Highly in Descent is this one dude. He's the most viewed person playing Animal Crossing right now, so I think I'm going to go and look for somebody who has like a much lesser view count, who is streaming in English. A lot of people playing are in like different European countries. I mean, it's cool to see just how many people around the world play Animal Crossing. Read Discord. Did you say something in Discord? I don't have my Discord open. Something I should see here. Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that, Grace, that you said. Yeah, I did put I made a verbal content warning in the very first stream of this game because I figured from some of the themes in the first game that I should give a warning going into this one. But yeah, I agree with you that I'll edit the highlight for the first one and highlighted the second one. Maybe I'll just do the content warning for the highlight of this current VOD, because nothing out of the ordinary happens with the first one, and I also did my verbal spiel at the beginning of the first highlight. But this current stream is where things got a lot more into the story, and I guess with the highlight from Thursday, the very short one, because that's when like the revenge porn thing became part of the plot, and other people might find that to be a heavy subject as well. So I think it's a fair point, Chris. I'll keep that in mind. All right, so let me find somebody to rate here. I'm going to turn off my desktop audio for a second here so I can listen in on the stream. I found an Australian streamer who's playing Animal Crossing, and it's categorized as chilled and cozy. Oh, and because she's Australian, it's like winter in her Animal Crossing game right now. Like it's just starting to snow in the game because of the southern hemisphere. All right. Well, I think we'll rate this person. She seems like a small Animal Crossing stream. Wait, is she ending? She cut away from the game. I just want to make sure she's not ending. Oh, never mind. She's ending. Okay, we're not going to raid this person. We'll have to find another one. She's literally ending. Oh, this person is a French speaker, so I can't do that. Oh, we have somebody on the road to 500 followers. We could, this person's at 430, wants to reach 500. And he's playing Animal Crossing and he's chilled. That's one of his tags, chilled. Alright, I think we can rate this dude. Alright, so his name is RM Porter 35. Oh, raid message. Any ideas for raid message, Grace? Obviously, it doesn't have to be relevant to this game. It can be something like Animal Crossing related. How about like let me grab an eyes emoji real quick off of Google. And a raid message would be like, I heard you're looking for followers, with an eyes emoji. Because this guy's trying to get to 500 followers, and I think we can help him with that. So that'll be the raid message. Raid RM Porter, was it 35? RM Porter 35. Alright, so we're gonna raid this dude. It looks like he's just doing a casual... It does sound like a follow bot, but if both of us copy-pasted Grace, then I think it'll be obvious that we're humans. But it does kind of sound like a big follow spot. Anyway, this guy has nothing to do with the game we've been playing. It's just that he's playing something more chill, and I think that's probably a good note to end, because we just played a very heavy game. But anyway, thank you Grace for joining, and for other people who joined along the way. There was somebody else who joined. Maybe you follow yours, Grace. There's a guy named Funkiest Monkey at the beginning of stream who was lurking, who was, I guess, a first-time viewer, and he probably found me through you or something, Grace. But anyway, thank you to those who watched live, and for people like Vlad who might watch later. This is a really heavy game. I hope the people watching it, it gives perspective and lessons on, abuse and how it happens, and to not just be an unsuspecting bystander in that situation, to really step in if you know something that's been going on, and be somebody like Charlotte or Michael who knows how to step in and do the right thing and be understanding and helpful and do the right thing in that kind of situation. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. We're going to raid. We're on a countdown. We got to do this right quick. Thank you everybody for watching. Digits BB coming back with more soon. Digits BB. Heard you're looking for followers. Eyes right now.